Good evening, everyone. Please, let's confirm if you can hear me. Please, kindly confirm if you can hear me from your end. Please, kindly confirm if you can hear me, everyone, and if you can see the screen. So without further ado, we are going to get into today's class because time is fast spent already. Networking irregularities is just something that we always have to face with in Nigeria. But hopefully we are going to start up class. I hope and pray that others join early because we've actually have quite a number here before time. So if you are in the chat, you can kindly drop a message for me to know if you are watching us live. So today we are going to be looking at advanced prompt engineering, thinking like an AI prompt engineer. Now, from last class, we dived into understanding the formula for AI image creation. That was what we covered for last class, which was class 2, week 2. So for today, we want to understand how to think in an advanced way as a prompt engineer, especially a prompt engineer creating AI images. How do you prompt your work that would look very much different from that of just another person? That's what we want to look into today. And this class is quite important for us so that it would help us to understand some key elements that some AI prompt engineers always neglect. Because a plan of the Digital Learners Academy is to ensure that every one of us, every one of you, after this cohort, we have a say in the world of artificial intelligence, image and video creation, and even song creation. So today we are going to be looking at how to think as an AI prompt engineer. We are going to look at things like the formulas that you need, the advanced one right now. We are going to dive into other components that you would need to add into your prompt to make it superb. Also, we look at something called the JX. In the phase of this class, you can be urged to drop some things into the chat, which is our WhatsApp group. Also, I would really appreciate those of you that has taken out time to attempt the assignment that you were given all the way from week 2. I could see that some of you attempted it online. Some also sent their own output into the group. This is duly recognized, and we really appreciate you to show that as much as we are pouring out our time and resources into this, we have very diligent people also who are taking out time to learn. So let's get into today's class straight. So, from week 2, as I said, we looked into the basic prompt engineering framework, which is the subject, the style, the engineering, the environment rather, and the lightning. So, from some take-homes from what we discussed last week, which was week 2, we said our subject answers the question who is to be inside this image that you want to generate. That's what our subject answers. Then we look into our style. What kind of image do you want to generate with your artificial intelligence agent? What kind of image are you to generating? Is it photorealistic? Is it a cartoon? Is it anime? Is it 3D or pizza style? Is it cinematic style? What kind of image are you generating? Then we go into the environment. The environment is where. Where is your character standing? Where is the subject standing? What is the geographical what will I call it now? Characteristics of where your character is occupying. Then we have the next thing, which is the lightning. The lightning deal with the light of the environment. Let me put it that way. The lightning of the environment, I will call it the weather. Let's put it that way. Though most times it's not really about weather per se. It is just the coming together of some lightning techniques and equipment to provide a surreal environment for your character. So we have different type of lightning as we discussed from last class. You have the neon lightning, you have the photorealistic, you have the cinematic lightning. Also, you can see that is showing up in 2 places now. You have that for the environment and for the style, you have that for the lightning also. But today we'll be looking at more professional techniques and factors that you can add into your prompt that would give you a well standardized result and output. So the first thing that we have here is why we look at the identity and the description. This is to give more features to your subject. That's what this does. It gives more features to your subject. The next thing is the closing and action. The closing of your character, the action to be performed. Next thing is camera and composition. Now, this is the part where I want us to really focus on, because most AI prompt engineers, they really neglect this a lot. They neglect this part a lot. This third component, camera and composition. And as an AI photographer and prompt engineer, you can never underestimate or overemphasize this. No, it is as important as it ought to be. The next thing is the mood and the quantity of your image. Yes, your image also has a mood. You might be asking that question in your mind, does the image has a mood? Of course, yes. There are literally some images, some pictures that the moment when you open it and you look at it, you have a flashback of some things. It creates an emotion inside of you. You suddenly feel like maybe excited. In some other cases, you might feel suddenly very, very sad. This thing, we can see it with some of the movies and characters that we negotiate with, that we see every day. Maybe movies, scenes and everything. You literally saw a scene and then it creates a mood inside of you. So your image also should be able to give you this sensation, especially as an AI prompt engineer. The next one is the reference image. Now, one thing that is very important for an AI prompt engineer, especially such that is focusing on the photorealistic aspect, is that you don't joke with the part of the reference image. Okay, I can see that some of you have been realistic, you've been creative, you've been creating images on the group that, especially regarding the assignment, you use your own reference image. I could see some of you generating the image of yourself riding a bicycle. That is very good. And I believe you, and believe me, I tell you that in the world that we are in right now and the coming months, because the world is quickly evolving. Now you see that people that gets to like what will I call this now? To expertise this field, let me use that word, that gets to master this area of realistic prompt engineering, which is generating images with reference images that will be top notch and very photorealistic. They are going to be people that would really be eating up in this field. So I really appreciate you and recommend you for that. So we'll be looking into that, how to create an image with your reference image, yet that will be surreal. So this is where we are going to bring in the JSON prompt engineering. Let's get to the next slide. Please, if you have any question as we go further, you can do well to drop it in the comment section for me, or drop it in the group chat. I can also look into that for us. So for the next one, you have the randomness problem. So I want you to, I could believe that this is not only me, right? That sometimes when you ask AI some questions, remember I've always said this, that AI does not predict, and then one flaw that AI has is that artificial intelligence agents, they hallucinate. I've told us the meaning of LLM or LMS. Yes, no, LLM rather, large language model. That AI agents, they have a vast yet limited database. So before you interact with any AI, be it ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, what is it called, OpenAI, any AI that you are interacting with, have it at the back of your mind that it has a vast database. Yes, its database is limited. That's why you can find out that it will give you some questions, some responses that will be so different from what you actually know to be true. That's why every AI agent would always have a disclaimer that always proof check everything you get. So most times, and sometimes, rather, let me not use most, sometimes when you interact with AI, creating totally different thing from what you've done. I'll give an example. Today I was interacting with ChatGPT, and now my ChatGPT is more like one of my workspace, my office space, because I work for a school and then we always use it for everyday flyer. So one thing that I've used it to create in its memory is that I've attached the school logo to it. It has the school's name with it. I found out that it generated an image for me, does not apply the school's logo, used another totally different school logo and a totally different school uniform. It was like it was a total stranger. At that moment, I knew that it has gotten to a limit of its memory. So I had to like refresh everything from scratch again for it. So this is one thing that AI does, and this issue is because people do not learn to like create a reference card. There's something called a reference image card. That's what we bring out to JSON. So you find out that for one image, you will see, for one picture, you see the AI, it will generate it. Maybe you attach the reference image, it will be better. But for the next one, you find out that what it's giving you a totally different person. There will be some what will I call this now? Some thwarting of the characters, of the characteristics of your character. Let's say, for example, maybe your character or your reference image is such that it's blonde. Let's say the lady is blonde. The lady or the character you are using is blonde. So let's say, for example, after for the first image, it was perfect. The next image, if you are not careful and if you are not giving it a reference card, it is going to generate another totally different person for you. Could generate another thing for you entirely. Are we there? So these are issues of that prompt. Get to the next page. So deconstructing the prompt. This is where what brings us to how to like start creating our prompt to in a way that will be civilized. Now, AI process your vision of thinking. Let me give a practical example. Let's say you entered into a restaurant to get something and you went to the waiter and you said, I want to buy something, or I want to get food, or I want to eat. So that moment when you go to that waiter and you gave your request, truly you've requested for something and the waiter is expected to give you a response. However, the waiter can give you a meal which is not what you want. Let's say, for example, what is on your mind is to eat pizza, but you went to it and told it that I just want to buy a food. It can give you amala. But the bottom line is what? You have been given a meal, you've been given a food, but what you want on your mind, what you expect is not what you are seeing. Same thing for artificial intelligence. Now, when you interact with an AI image generation agent, it thinks in some styles. Whatsoever you give it as a prompt, it analyzes it. Now, if some of the components that it needs are not provided, that AI is going to guess. It's going to just give you anything in that moment. Hope you get that now. So we are going to be looking at this component: the subject, identity, closing, action, environment, lighting, and style. Now let's look at this short prompt here. Short yet concise prompt. It says, a confident young African entrepreneur standing inside a modern office. That is the prompt that you've given to it. Now, if you look at this prompt now, this prompt satisfies the characteristics of first, the subject, a confident young African entrepreneur. Secondly, the environment, standing inside an office, a modern office. Now, you see, this does not give us things like the lighting, does not give us things like the style of the image to be created. But now for this, the AI will then bring it down. Assuming you deconstruct this prompt and you place it at this: subject, an entrepreneur. Identity of the entrepreneur. Remember I told us that we are going to be looking at the action and the identity of our subject. So for the identity, you have the confident young African. So we go to the next one that says the clothing. What kind of cloth is our subject putting on, our character? We can see this is a professional attire. So the AI already knows what to wear on our subject. The next thing is the action. How is the what is the character engaged in? Standing. So it already knows that it's not supposed to create any other thing other than a standing young confident African entrepreneur dressed in a professional attire. Then it goes on for the environment. What is the environment that this our character of this young entrepreneur is standing in a modern office? The next thing is the lighting. Now we can see the lighting here is the natural office light. So you cannot expect a cyberpunk from this. Neither can you expect a cinematic lighting for this. Why? Because you already told us that what you want a natural office light. If you look at this, one side is darker than the other. The light is equally shaded naturally. I explained in the last class for us how there are different kinds of lighting. When I was making a reference to the use please kindly give me, I don't know, I was told that some people are having an issue. Please kindly give me just 5 minutes maximum. I want to attend to those on the group, please. Give me 5 minutes, please. Let me attend to those on the group. To cross check again, everybody can comment on it. You can drop any of your comments. Also, if you have any other further comments that cannot be dropped there, you can okay. Thank you very much. Please, can you still hear me? If you are there, you can drop something in the chat for me to see. You can drop it on the group. So I just had to attend to some. So let me put it out here as a general information. Please, if you're having issues connecting or commenting or even seeing the live or hearing the live, kindly make sure you cross check from your end. I want to believe that this live is going very smooth. We are giving out a lot of, our stream rate is very good right now, so the stream is not affected. But if you're having issues with knowing if you are live or hearing us, kindly make sure that you confirm from your end. Thank you very much. So I will continue now. I think I've explained this: our subject, our identity, the classing, the action, the environment, the lightning, and the style. So let's get to the next slides. So will you give me a second? Okay, now to the next one, the professional prompt framework. This is where we are going to look at it one by one. Now it takes a detailed framework, firstly from the subject and identity down to the description and clausing. You see, subject and identity. Who are you creating? What's the identity of the person? Fine, I'm creating an entrepreneur. Good. What's the identity of your entrepreneur? Is it a male or a female, an African? What's the ethnicity? Some other characteristics can be given too. Maybe the features and all. We have something called the feature card or your reference card. You can give. For the next one, you give the action and environment. What is the person doing? In this stance here, our action here is standing. The character is standing. You tell us the action of the character and the environment that the character is. Standing where? Maybe this character is running. I could see one of the examples of the assignment that you guys did. You see the characters that you have. You said the characters were what? They were riding a bicycle. Where? In an amusement park. So the action there is riding the bicycle. The environment there is the amusement park. I believe you are following. Please, I could see some chat here. If you are following, kindly make sure you signify. Afolabi, Shiny Star, I could see your chat here. Please make sure you signify. Anytime you can't hear me, just make sure you drop an information. For the next one, you have the lightning and camera. Now, this is very, very important. Your lightning, I said this again, and I'm going to rephrase myself again. Your lightning deals with the source of light of what you are creating. It has a say. I said it before in last class and also in the start of this class, that it has a say as to the quality of whatsoever you are creating and whatsoever image that you are creating. Your lightning can never be overemphasized. Your camera. Now, the camera too is important. As a photographer, I've been made to know that one of the things, I did tell you that, one of the things that gives me joy as a photographer and in any event is the quality of my camera or my lens. I'm telling you, any photographer or videographer that you meet up with will attest to this. There is a specific joy that you get just handling a certain kind of camera or handling a certain kind of phone when you are doing any, maybe videoing or taking picture. Also, you have the lens too. Lens is a very important part of photography too. Now, as an AI prompt engineer creating image, I will call it an AI photographer. This can never be overemphasized. It is very, very much important. Your camera, your lens, your clarity of space. Let me use that word. We are going to be looking at all this going forward. Your clarity of spaces can never be overemphasized because your camera has a say as to what you want to create. I'll give you an example. There are some brands of cameras that we have nowadays. We have the Canon, we have the Nikon, we have the Sony, we have the Dijon and the likes. Now, a professional photographer in the photographer and the art and media industry will tell you that these cameras, they have their specification. Though all of these cameras and gadgets can take pictures, can take videos, but there are some that are preferred for some of these activities. I'll give you an example. When you talk of photography, deep quality photography, it will be recommended that you make use of Canon cameras or Nikon cameras. Now, when you come to videography, the ability for you to make a very good video clip without having any issues, Sony and Dijon will be recommended. But when it comes to the production of drones, I understand you. I know you guys know what we call drones. Drones are those camera gadgets that I will call it flies in the air. Okay. Now, when it comes to drones or creating cranes or creating tripod and the likes, these things, gimbals and the likes, this thing belongs specifically when it comes to quality, it belongs to Dijon. Are we following now? So all these things, even as an AI photographer, you must know it. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are creating your prompt and you get to this place to give your specificity of camera. You can say something like using Canon Mark IV IV, meaning 4. Or you could say using Sony camera, or you could say using Canon so and so. After saying that, you give it a lens too. Maybe 85mm lens. Maybe 24mm lens, 55mm lens. All of these lenses, they have their specific speciality. There's something also called the aperture. I believe some of you probably when you are taking a picture, especially if you are taking a picture with the portrait style, let's say on iPhone, you will see a place whereby you have some things like F. You see something like an F that is slanted. Then you will see 1/4, 1/8, 1/60, 1/32, 1/64. I don't know if you guys have seen things like that before. Now, that is what is called aperture. Now, what that thing does is this. It gives you a clarity of your character, a clarity of your subject. For example, let's say you want to create a portrait picture whereby everything behind your image or behind your character will be blurred out. I don't know if you've seen images like that. That it seems like the person that you are taking the photograph of is like the only thing that is clear. Everything behind it, even the people behind it, everything behind it are literally like blurred out. Their details are not clear. Now, this is a work of aperture. There's something called the ISO speed. And there's something also called the I'm trying to remember this, the white balance, and all of these things. You see, all these things are very intricate information that you must not what will I call it now? You must not neglect even as an AI prompt engineer. Now let's go to the next thing. Next thing that you have is the composition and mode. Good. Now composition answers a very simple question. I know we could still see this in the slide, but I'm bringing this here now so that you can pay attention. Now composition answers a very simple question, and the question is your character. How is your character to be placed in your image? That's as simple as it is. I repeat myself. Composition answers this question. Where and how is my character to be placed or to be framed in my picture? That's what it answers. So for composition, that's where you have things talking about shot, medium shot, full size shot, best view, low angle, wide angle, drone shot, crane shot, waist up, shoulder view, all those things. You see, this is where your composition comes in. Under composition also, you have things like the rule of third, you have things like the space shape, you have the things like the negative space. All these things are things that photographers and videographers must never joke with, and also as an AI prompt engineer, you must not joke with it. Now I would give you guys a recommendation. I don't know if you guys know this AI agent called Flow. Flow is one of the AIs by Google. Now Google has some AI agents, a couple that I know. One of it is the Gemini. So Gemini is the one that is used for image creation and all. You guys might have interacted with it. They always have a watermark of something like a kite or a diamond on every of its image. Now the video creation agent that Google has is called Flow. They also have something called Whisk before, but right now Whisk has like the features of Whisk has been delimited for Flow to have more space and more visits. So Flow is what they use now. Now if you interact with Flow, you will find a section at the top that says Flow TV. I don't know if some of you have seen this thing before. If you go to Flow, you see somewhere called Flow TV. Now I would recommend you to always open that tab called Flow TV once in a while. Now if you open Flow TV, you will see so many videos created by so many people, and they will give you the prompt for those scenes. You will see so many things here. You could see a white shot, you could see an animal, you will just be surprised. And all of these prompts will be there for you to copy and remake yourself. So you can, on these things, you can find so many questions like of the composition. You find answers to environment, action, drone shot, movement of camera, all these things will be available there. So for the next one, you have the mood. I already said this, the mood of your image. Now the mood is something that is intertwined with your what's it called? With your lightning and your composition. A mood, it is intertwined with your lightning and your composition. I said it before in this class that some of us would attest to it, that there are some times that you see some pictures, you see some images, you see some videos that it creates a sensation inside of you. The moment you view it, it creates a sensation that you just suddenly you might feel very sad, suddenly you might feel very happy, suddenly you might feel excited, suddenly you might feel curious just because of what you saw. Now those are moods that can be created, stimulations that can be created by the moods of an image. So even as an AI prompt engineer, you must not neglect this. The mood is very important. Now for the next part is where we have your quality and reference image. Remember I told us that for this, if you are creating a reference image, you must also specifically take note of this. Let's go to the next slide. So the technical trio. So we want to look at this very important trio with full concentration. Now the first is the camera, you have the lightning, and you have the composition. You can see I've already spoken about this before. So we are going to be looking at each of these features and what they mean. Okay, for the camera you have what is called the close-up or the full body. The close-up or the full body. Now if you are creating any image from an AI agent and you specify it that you are creating a close-up shot, or you are creating a full body shot, you are creating the full body portrait or image of that your character. That's what that means. A close-up or a full body. You are creating a full body portrait or image of that character or that subject. The next one is the low angle or the bird's eye. Now for something like the low angle, it's more like I'll call it a drone shot or a 360 shot. Though we have another specified 360 shot. But let me give you an example. Have you seen a video or an image whereby it seems like every of the features inside of that image or that video is like curved? Okay, I'll give another example. Let's say you are beside a car and you are looking at the mirror of a car. Now, some cars have, after having that bigger mirror, they will have a smaller mirror, like very small, like the circular. Most time is circular, and you find out that if you look at it, it will seem like everything all around you is like curved, like a ball, like spherical. I don't know if you've seen those kind of things before. Please, I don't know if you've seen those kind of things before. And you nice, you are welcome to the class. I don't know if you've seen it before. I don't know if you've seen those kind of things. Now, if you've seen those kind of things, it's called the bird's eye. The bird's eye. It will seem like everything that you are looking at, everything you are creating is curved inside the space. It's curved inside the space. Are we there? Now, the reason why I said there's a little difference between this and 360 is that 360 will be very, very much circular. It will be like a whole ball, like everything that you are viewing everything is in circles. But when it comes to the bird view, not everything will be circle, but your width will be curved. Like around you will be curved. It could not be circular, but around will be curved. It will seem like you are looking it in like you are looking at it from side, but it is everything you are seeing is in curved perspective. Okay. Now for the next one is the 5mm portrait lens. Now, if you want to take a portrait, are you listening to me now? You must always specify your lens. Remember, I told us about your camera and lens. Good. So your 85mm, when you say 85mm, it is mainly for portrait. Why is it mainly for portrait? Because you will get a good image, whereas your lens will still be able to provide you quality, meaning the features of your character will still stand out. Now, there are so many lenses in photography. I remember I've said that. So there's always a saying that the better your lens, the better the quality of your image. So one of the best lens is the 85mm portrait lens. Whenever you are creating a portrait image, are you there? And you tell it that using a 85mm lens, that already tells the AI that you are creating a portrait. Now, here is the reason. You see, I told us that AI operates on something called LLM, large language model, meaning it has the ability to visit a wide database. Now, this is the reason. If you are creating any image with AI, have it at the back of your mind that your AI agent has the ability to visit up to 2 million pictures and details of 2 million plus photographers. Are you there? 2 million results of photographers. So when you tell it that I want to create maybe a portrait, maybe a close-up shot, what it automatically does is that it goes to a database. It looks for pictures of photographers more than 2 million of decades ago, of even recently, and it will now look for those ones that satisfy that. So when it sees the one that satisfies that, it refreshes its mindset that this is the kind of output that I'm supposed to give to this person. Hope you understand now. Now for the next one, you have the wide angle or the macro. Now for the wide angle is the kind of like picture that takes into consideration everything in the environment of that your character. Are we following now? It takes into consideration everything in the environment of that your character. For the next one, you have the depth of field. Good. This is where you have your aperture. Now, you could see here in the bracket, you have f/1.8. Now, if you use f/1.8, the kind of image that you create is what I've already explained earlier. Where you have only your character to stand out, everything behind it would be blurred. Now, let me give you a practical example that you could use something like this. Let's say you want to show a character and that your subject is thinking, or maybe is frustrated and is expressing anger. At the moment that maybe the character there head is tight, and then you want to create a kind of environment that everything behind it does not matter at that moment, you could use something like this. Are we there now? This is depth of field. Everything behind the character and around the character would be blurred out. The details will not be clear, but that character alone will be the one that the features would show out well and pop out in a way that would be very, very much known. Are we there? So let's continue. For the next one is your lightning. Now for your lightning, you have the daylight or golden hour. So when you tell it that when you specify your lightning to be golden hour or daylight, what you are simply telling it is that the kind of lightning that you want for that image is daylight. All of us know what daylight means. You know, daylight is the not environment. It's the weather between the hours of 12 to 2 and sometimes to 3, depending on the intensity of the sun. Are we there? The hours of 12 in the afternoon to 2 or to 3, depending on the intensity of the sun. For the next one, you have the cinematic or studio lighting. So if you say studio lighting or cinematic lighting, it is very much similar. Why? Because I told us in last class that in a studio, most movies that you see, most of it are acted in a studio, in a specific environment. Although some are acted outside, okay, some scenes are acted outside of a studio, like not in a studio. They will come outside in the like in the location, in a crowded area or a peaceful or deserted area, and they will act it out. But most times, most scenes are always acted inside of a studio. So they will bring in some imaginations. They will create some scenes with the use of CGI and studio lighting. So studio lighting is what we create the effect that would convince the character that whatsoever they are watching is real or factual. Are we there? So that's where you have your cinematic or studio lighting. I already explained this to us that when you are watching a movie and it seems like the light source is coming from one side is blurred out, one side is like maybe darkened, one side is bright, that is a cinematic lighting. Or you are seeing a movie, it seems seeing a picture, it seems like some parts are colorful, maybe purple in color, some are yellowish, some are blue, green, those kind of things are what cinematic. The next one, you have the neon or moody. Now the neon kind of pictures are something that are mostly related to, remember I told us this in last class, futuristic images. Are we there? When you have your neon, it's similar to futuristic images. When you have maybe pictures of AI agent or someone interacting with an AI agent, or maybe other ones also for the moody part, other ones can be maybe haunting scenes. When I say haunting scenes, for horror movies, okay? Horror movies, that the moment you see that scene, it creates an emotion inside of you. So that is a moody scene. Maybe sudden darkness and then a dim of light coming out, or maybe what will I call this now? A tint of red, more like a blood scene, okay? A blood sucking scene. So all these things are what are neon. Why is it called neon? Because it's trying to like create a unrealistic scenario. A non-realistic scenario. You want to like create it with some of its effect that it has. Another thing is the rim lighting. Now rim lighting is such a you guys should know this. I have a picture of mine that is rim lighting. Now let's say for example, I would like to always use practical examples. I believe all of us know what we call a rim light, right? That some bloggers and some TikTokers use, they place their phone there and they dance and all. So when you use a rim image or you use rim lighting, what you are creating is this. That light from the rim is like what you are telling the AI to imagine. So it would imagine a light coming in, creating a circular perspective upon your image. And let's say, for example, you want to take a side view image and then you want to use the rim lighting. I have a picture like that. Let's confirm if you can hear me. I have to answer some calls. Let's confirm if you can hear me. Please kindly let me know if you can hear me, please. You can drop it in the chat. If you can hear me, kindly let me know. Okay, nice to say yes, sir. Thank you very much, everyone, for staying. I just had to answer those very important calls and questions. Okay, I think I was talking about the rim lighting. Good. So rim lighting would allow your AI to create an image for you such that the light will be circular, will be kind of circular. It won't cover all. It will give a perspective. Either it will be darkened. Another one that we have is the softbox or ash shadows. This is another image perspective that your AI can be able to efficient. I'm trying to cover up with what we have. Let's go to the next one, is the composition. Good. Now the composition is very, very important. When I was talking about your rule of thought, now let me explain rule of thought in a way that could be very, very simple for us to understand, even as someone that is not into photography. Now when we say rule of thought, now rule of thought is like, okay, let me first give us a practical example. Like, how many of you have interacted with let me not say interacted, maybe you wanted to take a picture with iPhone. Are you there? You wanted to take a picture with iPhone and suddenly you saw like on your screen, it seems like it was what would I call this now? It was patterned. Like some lines come in, maybe 3 lines and then 3 lines horizontal, 3 lines vertical. I don't know, have you guys seen something like that before? Maybe you wanted to take a picture and suddenly on your phone you found 3 lines vertical, 3 lines horizontal. Please, can you all hear me? Let's confirm if you can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, let me know. Please drop it in the chat if you can hear me. I had a slight network discrepancy here. Please, if you can hear me, kindly drop it in the chat, please, before I continue. I would love to know if you are all with me. I want to know if you are all with me. Okay, thank you very much, Afolabi. Thank you very much. So, let's continue. So, I was on composition, right? And I asked the question that how many of you have interacted with maybe while you are taking a phone, you then noticed that you were taking a picture with a phone rather, then you saw some vertical lines and some horizontal lines on your screen as you wanted to take that picture. Now that kind of situation is called the rule of thirds. So those things are called the rule of thirds. You always see that usually and most times it is always 3 vertical lines, 3 horizontal lines. Now what that signifies is this. You see those points where those lines intersect, are you there? Those points where they intersect is called centers. Are you following? Now if your character falls in between those points where they intersect, you are welcome, Olamilekun. If it falls into those points that they intersect, it tends to bring out the qualities of those characters very well. Let me explain it again. Let's say we wanted to take a picture. Symmetry. Now it's the same thing, so I need you to pay attention. And you have it showing on the screen of your phone. So the moment when you wanted to take your picture, endeavor that your character is placed in the midst of the intersection of those lines, maybe the vertical lines and the horizontal line where they meet together. Make sure that your character is standing right there. The moment when it is confirmed and you take your picture, you find out that picture would be very good. Why? The features of that your character would be able to pop out and talk and speak out well. Are we there now? So that is the rule of thoughts and the leading line and symmetry rather. So the next thing is the central composition. Now central composition is just you trying to fix your characters to be in the center, to be framed in the center of your picture. Are we there now? To be framed in the center of your picture. Negative space is you creating your image in such a way that there will be a space for you to put in maybe text, maybe you want to add some text or something like that to put it in. Are we there? Now let's go to the next one. Character consistency. Good. Now this is one of the very important things that we want to deal with. So these are the causes of people having issues with images that they ought or they want to create to be hyper realistic or to be according to a reference image. So what we have here is what is known as the character identity card. So your character identity card must carry out this very information. First is the age and gender of your character. It must be present. The next thing is your face shape, the face shape of your character. Maybe round neck, maybe opaque, anything. It must be there. Oblique and the likes. The next thing is the eye color. Brown, black, blue, yellow and the likes. It must be very much specified. The clothing. What's the clothes that your character is wearing? The next thing is the expression of your character. Smiling, laughing, frowning, giggling or the likes. The next thing is the ethnicity. Is the person an African? Is the person black? Is the person white? Is the person an Indian? Is the person a Nigerian and the likes? The next thing is the hairstyle. An afro, putting on a wig, having a ponytail, or maybe the person is blonde. No, all those things must be specified inside of your identity card. The next thing is the accessories. Accessories are basically what the person is putting on aside clothing, like maybe glasses, maybe wristwatch, maybe chains and bangles. The next thing is the pose of your character. So we have right here on the right hand side 2 comparisons of 3 images. The first one without reference images and the next one with reference images. You could see that the one with reference images produced the same result, whereas the one without reference images produced very different results. All the 3 images were different, were giving different results. So this is one of the importance of you having a character identity card or attaching your reference image with your picture. Now this is consistency begins with identity. Your AI must be able to like identify your character. So this is what is going to bring us to JSON prompt. So this same thing is what is known as your JSON prompt. So what's JSON prompt? JSON prompt is just you specifying your prompt or the features of your character in a way that will be easier for the AI to understand. So I want you to take note of this. JSON prompt or code is not the same thing okay. So let's continue. I have to like say something outside of the class. Okay, so as I was saying, so this your JSON prompt is not coding. Are we following now? Though it is very similar to coding, but it is not coding. It does not require you to have a lot of information about coding, no. But the way at which you will type it and put it out from your AI will be like in a coding language, because AIs understand coding very well. Now I'm going to explain something to you further. Now as I explained to some people when I was having a physical boot camp with them, that there is another part of AI called AI automation. Automation or AI prompt engineering, the advanced AI prompt engineering. So I was meant to like I benefited from a scholarship program like that called Generative AI, whereby we were taught AI prompt engineering. So for that one, you would have to be making use of things called API keys. You have to be coding and all those ones, because what you are to do specifically in that kind of like situation or course is for you to create AI models. So we create AI models from scratch. You can create like your own personal ChatGPT that will be focused on one specific one field to give response. You do all those necessary things, make sure that it does not hallucinate, cross-check it, have demos before you like put it out. Okay, it could be a personal AI video generating agent that you decide to create yourself. So for things like this, coding are very, very important. However, even as a basic prompt engineer, you must be able to like understand JSON prompt. So this is just like what your JSON prompt will carry. It will just be a list of you giving the information of these things, however in a language that AI understand. Remember, I told us that AI runs on something called LLM, large language models, and one of the best way that it can fully grasp your message is if your messages are given to it as like what it was fed with. Let me give you an example. Let's say a child was brought up with Hausa language. All the languages of his life has been Hausa language. If that kind of child comes to your class or you want to interact with that kind of child, the best language that child will understand is if you speak to the child in Hausa language. Because speaking to the child in Pidgin or in Yoruba would get the child more confused. So what am I saying in essence? When you tend to like give out details of your characters or subject with two AIs in coding, it gives very more specific explanations to it. So that's where we have our JSON prompt. It's very simple. It's just you writing out your character identity card or features of your character in a way that is more explainable or understandable to your AIs. In other words, in coding, just simple basic coding. Let's go to the next one. So advanced flows. Good. Have you seen a structured prompt right here? JSON prompt. So this is what a JSON prompt looks like. So in coding also, these are just like some part of coding. You see just a basic thing. Your subject in bracket, in quotation mark, entrepreneur. This is how you type it. Your clothing, blue blazer. Your environment, tech up. Your lightning, cyberpunk neon. Have you seen cyberpunk neon? That's the next thing at the other side there. The picture on the left hand side. That is a cyberpunk or neon picture. The camera, wide angle. Do we see that now? So this is what is known as a JSON prompt. It is not difficult. Are we there? It does not require you to probably have a degree or be a beginner in coding or be an advanced or an intermediate. You don't need all those. It's just you giving out your information to an AI in this format. So you will, coding, I don't know, I don't want to enter into coding again tonight, okay? So coding is just okay, let's not go there. Okay, but this is just our JSON prompt. This is how it is to be. So you will structure it out bit by bit, from your subject to your action to your clausing to your identity, to your environment, to your lighting, to your composition, to your camera style, to your quality, and to your reference image too. Okay, so that's how you do that. So reference image flow work. Reference images provide the structure and stylistic DNA that natural language alone often misses. Do we see that now? So in your code, in your normal prompt, you could actually miss those information. But when you present it to an AI in a JSON prompt, it gives it full details. And this is the very beautiful thing about it. Let's say you are interacting with an AI agent, probably Gemini or ChatGPT for image creation, and then you've already created your JSON prompt for your reference image. Have it at the back of your mind that anytime you want to generate an image that will have that your reference image, you don't have to type it again. Are we understand now? Let me say it in Yoruba. AI already made to create. There's something in AI called memory. Memory is the ability for an AI to revisit any interaction that you've had with it before, again, over and over and over again. So to type with JSON prompt, if you've typed it to it, it has the ability to revisit it again, even without you telling it to, without you typing it again. Rather, are we there now? I said an illustration the other time that my ChatGPT, unfortunately I interacted with it today, and then I found out that some of our the memories of our chat, it has erased because it hallucinated. Are we there now? But if to say I had given those information in JSON prompt as at then, it would have been better, because I didn't give it a JSON prompt. I just attached it as reference images. I told it this is this, this is this, this is this. Are we there now? So let's not forget, this is how a JSON prompt is to be structured. Okay, you look at the style there. For the first line, it is just what? Just a bracket. Are we there? Then for the next line, you type your subject, all the small letters. This is called identification in prompting, or yes, identification. Okay, identification is a process whereby anything which you want to type or type to your AI or in your coding, rather, let me use coding now, just make it know that this is to mean this, this is to mean this. Okay, so that's just what it means. I hope you understand that now. Okay, so structured prompt help organize instructions. So may I choose use JSON prompt and directly. You see why it is very, very important now. While others achieve the same result through well organized natural languages. So may I will endeavor or will require you to give it out in JSON prompt. I'm trying to remember one of these agents that I chatted with once a time, and this was during our generative AI class where we were creating AIs using API keys and all. I'm trying to remember the prompt. I think I should remember. But one of our tools then was Notebook LM rather. Notebook LM. So we were using Notebook LM, and we were using quite some Gradio and we were using quite some objects. So I'll try to recall later. But let's continue. I hope you understand what we mean by JSON prompt, at least to an extent. Please let me hear your feedback in the chat. Hope you understand what I mean by JSON prompt according to my explanation. We've even passed 1 hour on this call already. Okay? So let's go to the next one. The evolution of a prompt, okay? The evolution of a prompt. So actually, this is supposed to be a practical class whereby I share the screen on my phone, but I would love this to be something that we'll be doing on the group later on. Because actually, last week could have been the best of this class. Because last week, we had planned to go live on Zoom and on YouTube at the same time, so that every one of you can be able to join and open up your phone, share your screen, do the same class activity alongside with the tutor. But the level of turnout last week was quite disappointing that we had to postpone the class then, and then we had to say for a while now, let's the Zoom be alone, let's just focus on the YouTube so that everybody can have access to it. Okay, so this was supposed to take us from step to step until we get a very, very modern and professional prompt. So step 1, basic prompt, just a woman. Step 2, identity. So add special features like the ethnicity, how the character is standing, maybe the features of the character. Black, she's fair, she has a round face, she's chubby, she's slim, she's tall, Then the next thing is your clothing, professional attire, as this is. While the last thing is your environment, modern laboratory. So this is using like the first image that we've been using now as a case study for us. This image here, a woman is the basic step. That is defining what? The character. Basic definition of the character. Then the next thing is the identity, the features of the person. Dressed in a professional attire, a black young African entrepreneur. So that is giving special features, specific features and ethnicity. The next thing is the clothing. Dressed in a professional attire. Then the next thing is the environment in a modern laboratory. And if you take good note, you will find out that we added the lighting called modern office lighting. If you still remember, modern office natural lighting. Are we there now? So this is for us to understand how you evolve your prompt from just a basic prompt to a professional one. So step 5, which is the technical one, cinematic lighting, 85mm lens, an aperture of 1/8 depth of field. Are we there now? An aperture of 1.8 depth of field. So that is what will give us this specific image right here. So you could see that everything behind the woman does not have a good detail, like everything is just blank like that. Are we there? The reason for this is because of the use of the aperture of 1.8, the depth of field. And I told you, for you to create a portrait, you have to specify 85mm lens. And you've seen that this is a portrait here, 85mm lens. If you look at this is not having a composition of center. Are we there? It's not central. Okay, so let's take very good note of all of this. So let's get to the next one, practical class activity. As I said, this was supposed to be a practical class. Okay, so we are supposed to create some of these things. So I'm going to give this now as an assignment, one of our assignments. This week is going to be very much loaded for us, because after this week, from next week onwards, we'll be going into video creation and generation. I know some of you are hyped up, okay? I believe you are hyped up, you are ready, you are excited, okay? So from next class, we'll be going to video creation, and then probably during the week, I could take out a time to teach you how to generate hyper realistic photo shoot images. I know some of you have that, especially those that have interacted with me in physical bootcamp, where I showed you some of these things that I've created before. So I know some of you are hyped up and ready for it. So be rest assured. Now all of this is also dependent on how diligent and excited and hardworking you guys are to this class. Okay, we would love it. I would really appreciate it that as much as we are pouring out a lot into you guys, you are also taking in a lot, and showing out a lot in terms of results. Because the reason for this class is not just to train you alone, is to equip you to the extent that you produce results anywhere you may be. Because the truth of it is that AI is a big industry that is here to stay, and people are already making a whooping amount of money from it. Companies right now, AI companies are valued at a lot of millions and billions of dollars. The price of Anthropic alone, OpenAI alone, or the amount that Google is getting from it alone. Majority of us now, we don't even interact with Google per se, Google search engine anymore. All you do is just go to ChatGPT. Are you there now? Imagine the amount they are getting. Or you do not know. What you don't know is that they are also making money from you guys, from your data connection and interaction with them. They are gaining a lot from you. Are we there now? So this is to show us how important and how lucrative this industry is. So what we are trying to create is to create people, teenagers, kids, students, youth that would go out into the world and get the knowledge that they've gotten here, even if it is basic, even if you want to further more on it as a course, you have a very solid background that some other persons do not have. Like this year SOM prompt now, I believe none of you have even heard about it before, okay? And it's something that is very, very important, but people just think creating image with AI is just you going to the AI, typing your prompt and getting your results. It's much more than that. It's much more than that. You find yourself in situations whereby a company or a brand will reach out to you and tell you that we want it to be specific. You've created something for us, we want you to like use your creativity. That kind of situation, you cannot just expect AI to get for you. You have to be what? To be creative, to be diligent in what you want to do. So this is what we are trying to like create inside of you guys. Even as students attending classes, going to school, we want you to still be what? To still be focused and to be to broaden your horizon, to think outside of the box. Are we there now? This is your generation. This is your own time. AI is your own time. It's your own generation. Okay? Do not sleep on it. So I would love you to like work on these images. First one is a professional portrait. Engineer a high-end business headshot using specific identity, lighting, and 85mm lens parameter. You see, I told you, 85mm lens signifies that you are creating a portrait. Another thing is to create a futuristic scene. Create a complex technology environment using layered environment and cinematic lighting prompt. I told you that one of the scenes or the styles of a futuristic scene is you creating a neon style or a cyberpunk. Are we there now? Hope you remember. Please don't forget all of this. You can always revisit the slide over and over again. Please, I'm so sorry. I apologize for the noise. I'm currently not around my place. I had to like travel for some things. That's why the noise is around. Okay. For the next one, consistent character. Develop a character identity card and use a reference image to maintain a consistency using two different scenes. So this is very important. I want you to create two images now whereby you will have your character to be consistent. Okay, create your character identity card. If you are asking what is a character identity card, this is it right here, where you have your age and gender, the face shape, the eye color, the clothing, the expression, the ethnicity, the hairstyle, the skin tone, the accessory, and the pose. So I would love you to like use that to create two images that you have the same consistent character. And the next thing is your structured prompt. Right there. Translate a visual concept into a clean structured JSON or organized natural language prompt. What is this saying? Let's say you saw an image, okay, online, an image of a person or an AI image. I would love you to create a JSON prompt from it. So how do you do that? Maybe you saw that in your image. You ask yourself simple questions that we are on, okay? Questions like, first, what is the subject? Okay, remember this is like what we want to create here. This is it right here. Sorry. Good. This is it right here. So whatsoever you've created, whatever image that you want to use, you ask yourself these very simple questions. The first is, who is the subject there? Maybe the subject in your image is a musician, so you put it there, a musician. What is the clothing of the musician? A top brand or top quality Gucci outfit. You put it there. What's the environment? Maybe on a studio. What's the action? Singing on a studio. Are you there now? Aside your subject, remember your identity also. So aside the fact that the person is a musician, what kind of musician? Maybe an Afro singer, a black African, a tall white singer, a British rapper. You understand that now? So you create all of this. The lighting, what kind of lighting is inside the image? Okay, studio lighting. Are we there? What kind of camera style was used? Maybe the kind of camera style that was used was the wide angle, a drone shot. Are you there? Or a low angle, or a wide shot. You put it there. Are we there? So what you want to do is simple. You want to read that image that you have with you or that you've chosen, and you want to give out every answer. It's like someone is asking you. So imagine yourself, someone is asking you, what's the subject in this image? You give the answer there. What's the action? You give the answer. What's the environment? You give the answer. What's the lighting? You give the answer. What's the identity of the person? You give the answer. Are we there? This is what you want to do for that next slide over there. Okay, let's get back to where we are. Okay, so this is what I expect you to do for the next class. So the prompt engineering checklist. So this is a checklist that you must always check for your image before you assume that your image is ready to go into to go into the world or anywhere which you want to paste it, or ready to be created rather. So sorry for that. So the first thing is my subject specific? Have you been able to provide specific features and information about your subject? It's not just about telling us that you want to create your subject is a girl. What kind of girl? What's the features of the girl? Are we there? Is the action clear? So that's the next question. What's the action of this girl I want to create? Okay, maybe dancing rigorously, dancing energetically. Okay, is your action detailed and clear? The next one, did I choose the lighting? Have you chosen the lighting of the image that you want to create? Maybe cinematic. Have you chosen it? Is the composition intentional? Are you intentional about your composition? Don't forget our composition. That's where you have your rule of thought, your symmetry coming in, your centeredness of your character. So have you been specific about it? Have you placed it in such a way that you have a very good composition for your image? Next thing, have you organized the prompt clearly? This is where your JSON comes in. Have you organized it for the AI to know? Remember, it must carry out answers to all of these things. The next one is, did I define the identity? Have you defined the identity of your image? Remember I said this. It's not just about your image or your character being a girl. What's the identity of the girl? Maybe Black African. Are we there? Maybe white Latino. Are we there? What are we saying? You must be able to give detailed identity about your subject. The next thing is the environment details. Give a full detail about your environment. Where is the girl dancing? Maybe she's dancing on a podium. Maybe she's dancing in a classroom. Maybe she's dancing in a gym studio. Are you there? You must be able to specify it. The next thing, did you specify the camera? Good. Remember I told us that the camera to be used. That's where you have, whether it's a wide shot, whether it's a drone shot, whether it's a low angle. No, you must specify it here for your email, for your AI to know. The next thing, do I need a reference image? Do you need a reference image for what you want to create? Because if you do need a reference image, you have to attach it here or give the JSON prompt for your reference image. Do you understand now? So these are your checklists that you must endeavor that everything has been attempted and tested and approved before you can create your image. So you tick it all. As my subject, is my subject specific? Is the action clear? Did I choose the lighting? Is the composition intentional? Have I organized the prompt clearly? Did I define the identity? Is the environment detailed? Did I specify the camera? Do I need a reference image? So you must always make sure that all those things are checked as a prompt engineer. The next one, the future of communication. Okay, key takeaways. Professional prompts are structured and layered. AI builds images from concepts, not just words. Okay, AI is not just a person that you can just talk to. Oh yeah, even a person needs more information about anything you are giving it as a request. Okay, I give you an illustration of a waiter. Give me food. The waiter, if he or she is reasonable enough, would ask you that what kind of food, what kind of meal, how do you want it? You know, all those things are very important. Okay, the next thing, technical details. Your camera and light, they elevate quality. They elevate the quality of your image. If you specify those technical details, it elevates the quality of your image. The next thing is your reference images are the key to consistency. If you want to create consistency in characters or in subjects, your reference image can never be neglected. The next thing is your assignment right here. Prompt portfolio, we already said it. 1 times professional business portrait, 1 futuristic technology scene, 1 consistent character identity card, 1 structured prompt, which is your JSON format. We already said it here. So this, I am leaving with a last say that says, the future belongs to those who know how to communicate with AI. I already told you guys about this. AI has come to stay. The future belongs to those who know how to communicate with artificially intelligent gadgets. Okay, so make sure that you understand this. You can take your time to go through the slides again. You can take your time to watch this video again. You can even come into my DM on WhatsApp to ask questions. Okay, I am always ready for you to ask for your questions. Okay, so we've come to the end of this class. If you have any question, you can drop it on the chat box, or you can drop it on the group chat. Okay, do not forget, this is your assignment right here. I'm going to open this up for you to see that. So I'll be right here to take your question. If you have a question, you can type it out for me. Okay, Marvelous asking me, say we can hear you. Thank you very much. That means you are paying attention. If you have any question, you can drop, probably regarding the assignment, regarding all what has been treated, maybe about JSON prompt, about some of the advanced features that you have to add to your AI prompt. Any question at all, please make sure you drop it. I'll be waiting for just 3 minutes. After 3 minutes and I can't have any question, that means I would have to call it a wrap on today's class. So just a run through. Today we were able to treat some very, very important things. What we treated today is how to think as an AI prompt engineer. So that's what we look at. From last class we looked at just subject, style, environment and lightning, but today we'll be adding identity and prescription. Today rather we looked into identity and description, close JSON prompt and likes. Okay, so that's what we've dealt with today, and I believe you all have understand this to an extent. But if you do not, you have the grace to always come back to this video and all. And as to our assignment, an assignment has been given here. It's 4 assignments in total. Okay, 4 assignments in total. So you have to create a professional portrait. You have to create a professional portrait, a futuristic scene, a consistent character, and a structured prompt using the JSON prompt engineering technique. These are what you have to create. Please do not be afraid. I already told you. The JSON prompt is not coding per se. This is an example right here. Here's an example of a JSON prompt. This is it right here. Have you seen this now? This is a JSON prompt right here. Okay, it's not something to be scared of. It's just you giving every of your information regarding your character or your subject in a well detailed manner for your AI. Okay, so we've come to the end of today's class. Any question, everybody? Any question, everybody? Any question? Okay, Afolabi has a question. Afolabi has a question. I could see yes, sir. Yeah. Do you have a question? I could see someone, Bonanle Shining Star. She dropped an info on the group that the better your lens, the better the quality of your image. Yes, very, very, very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. The better the lens, the better the quality of your image for your features of your character to stand out. Okay, so I'm still waiting on questions from any one of you. Okay, any question can be dropped either right here or on the group. Okay. I will see Sir Alexander says no sound. I want to believe he's on this call, he's on the class, and he can confirm sound now. Okay, I want to believe that, and I want to believe that the sound is clear also. As I stated earlier, from our next class going forward, we'll be going into AI video creation. I know you don't want to miss this. For those of you that are here, all of you in particular, I'd advise that you download some apps on your phone, namely the Flow. Download Google Flow if you can. Download QuenChat. Grok is Pro now. You can't be able to use Grok. Download Manos AI. You can create image with Manos AI. Okay, those are the ones that download. Leonardo, Xfield. All these are AI video creation agents that we will be using, that we might be using going forward. Okay, that are quite free. They have the free plan also. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining today's class. I want to believe that you've learned a thing or two. Okay, so I would love you to say thank you, Humanity Relief Path Foundation, for this opportunity in the chat board. You can be in the chat board, you can be in the group chat also, just to appreciate them, because as I always say, this is brought to you. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining today's class. Take out your time to drop thank you, Humanity Relief Path Foundation, for this opportunity in this chat, also in the upcoming chat. Be ready for next class. Take your assignment serious. Do not joke with it. It is very, very important. Going forward, we are going to start having tests in the coming days, so please make sure you engage very well. I told you that you'll be getting your certificate, and the certificate is mainly for those that have decided to stand till the end, like that have decided to take this class serious. So let's not joke with it. Let's appreciate them for the opportunity, and let's make sure that we bring out our knowledge in the best way that we can. My name once again is Isaac Ayomide Adeino, known as Jehoshaphat Animation. Okay, thank you so much for your time, everybody. God bless you all. Seeing you next week Saturday, same time, 7 p.m. Same time, 7 p.m. Please, let's endeavor that we are on time, and we pray before then. Before then, network will not play us messy, okay? Because the network is quite very, very funny. Okay, so thank you so much for every class.